Asif from TSLB1104, and together with my fellow panelists Nakib and Haris, we are excited to share with you a discussion about a very important social issues that affects many of us today. So the impact of social media on youth mental health. This topic is very relevant because social media is now a part of our everyday life, and its influence on our emotions, thoughts and behaviors cannot be ignored. Today, we aim to explore not only the challenges but also the solution to help young people navigate social media safely. And before we dive deeper, I would like to introduce my fellow panelists. First, Nakib, who will discuss the main cause and effects of social media on mental health. And then Haris, who will explore strategies and solutions that can help mitigate these negative impacts. Our goal is to make this discussion interactive. So, please feel free to raise your hands if you want to ask questions or share your experience at the end of the forum. I also want everyone here to keep in mind that social media is a tool. Like any tool, it can be beneficial if used responsibly, but it can also be harmful if used excessively or without awareness. And our discussion today will highlight the factors that lead to negative consequences, the effects on youth mental health, and practical ways to address these issues. To start, let's define the key concept that we will be discussing. First, what is the key concepts that we will be discussing? First, what is social media? Social media refers to online platforms and applications that allows users to create, share, and interact with content. Examples include Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube, and also Twitter. These platforms are widely used by young people to communicate with friends, share their experiences, follow trends, and also express creativity. Research has shown that most teenagers spend around 3 to 6 hours a day on social media, sometimes even more, which shows how integral it has become in their daily life. Second, let's define what is mental health. Mental health is the state of our emotional, physiological, and also social well-being. It affects how we think, how we feel, and behave every day. Good mental health helps us cope with stress, relate to others, and make decisions. But poor mental health, however, can lead to issues such as anxiety, depression, sleep problems, and difficulties in managing relationships. Therefore, when we discuss social media impacts, we are focusing on how its usage can influence the mental and emotional well-being of young people. Apart from that, it is also important to note that mental health is not just about the absence of illness. It is about how we maintain balance in our lives, handle challenges, and also interact positively with others. Social media can affect all these aspects either positively or negatively depending on how it is used. For example, educational content, creative projects, and social connections. All these can support mental well-being, but excessive use, exposure to harmful content, or negative comparison can harm mental health. Now, let's discuss why this topic is particularly relevant today. Social media offers many benefits. It allows people to communicate, access information, learn new skills, and even express themselves creatively. However, it also carries risks that can directly affect mental health. Studies indicates that excessive social media use is associated with feelings of loneliness, low self-esteem, and stress. Many young people feel pressured to meet unrealistic expectations or to maintain certain online image, which can be mentally exhausting. For instance, a UNICEF report from 2021 highlighted that over 50% of young people reported feeling anxious or stressed when comparing themselves with their peers online. Think about scrolling to Instagram and seeing your friends' achievements, holidays, or created pictures of their life. Even if your own life is fulfilling, the constant exposure to idealized version of others can create feelings of inadequacy. This type of comparison can lead to anxiety, low self-esteem, and in some cases, depression. While another concern is phenomena of constant connectivity. Social media notification message and trends keep our brains alert. Even during times we should be resting or focusing on others' activities. Studies from the National Sleep Foundation have shown that teenagers who use social media before sleeping are more likely to experience poor sleep quality, fatigue during the day, and difficulty concentrating on schoolwork. The mental overstimulation caused by constant notification can prevent relaxation and increase stress level. Moreover, there's a psychology aspect known as FOMO, or the fear of missing out. This is the anxiety that others are having rewarding experiences without you, which social media can exacerbate. When young people feel the pressure to respond immediately to message, keep up with trends, or post content that meets others' approval, it can create constant stress over time. This persistent pressure can significantly affect mental well-being. Now let me ask all you something. How many of you check your social media right before sleeping? Please raise your hand. These simple actions can have a bigger impact on your sleep and mental health than many of us realize. Small habits like this contribute to anxiety, stress, and poor sleep quality. Another question is, have you ever felt stressed, anxious, or even sad after scrolling to social media? Well, this is a common experience among youth today, and it highlights why understanding social media's impact is so critical. Mental health is affected not only by what we do offline, but also by how we engage online. Awareness is the first step to managing these effects. Now that we have discussed the definitions, context, and significance of these topics, it's time to hear from Nakib. Nakib will explain the main cause of mental health challenges that arise from social media, as well as the effects it has on young people. Please go, Nakib. And before that, while Nakib presents his points, I encourage the audience to think about your own experience and habits. How does social media affect you personally? Later, we'll have a chance to share insights and discuss solutions together. Nakib, the floor is yours.
Well, thank you, Asif, for the introduction. Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be here to talk about the topic that impact millions of young people today: the effect of social media on mental health. As Hasif has explained to us, social media can be both positive and negative. But today, I will focus on the main cause that lead to mental health challenge and the effect this cause have on young people. By understanding this cause, we can begin to identify the practical solution. So before we dive in, let's think about why is this happening. Social media is a platform that are designed to be engaging. They are built to capture attention, encourage sharing, and keep user online for as long as possible. While this is a great for entertainment, it can also be led to several mental health challenge when users become excessive or unhealthy. So the first major cause is cyberbullying. We can say that unlike traditional bullying, which is usually happen in person, cyberbullying occurs online. And it can happen to someone at any time. A comment or a post or even message can be used to mock, threaten, or humiliate someone. The anonymity of the internet allow bully to act without immediate consequences, which can intensify the harm. You see that cyberbullying affects self-esteem, emotional well-being, and can even lead to depression or suicidal thought. According to the study by the Pew Research Center in 2022, we see that 50% of teens reported experiencing some form of online harassment. This shows that cyberbullying is not a rare occasion. It is widespread and affect a significant number of young people. So think about it for a moment. If someone posts a negative comment about you online or spread false information, it can feel like the world is against you. Unlike face-to-face bullying, cyberbullying is persistent. You can feel anxious or upset every time you check your notification because you never know when the next negative comment will appear. The second major cause is comparison culture. Social media encourage people to compare themselves to others constantly. Platforms like Instagram, TikTok, and even YouTube often showcase the most curated and idealized part of your life, like achievement, holiday, fashion, or even physical appearance. Young people see these highlights and unconsciously compare themselves, thinking that their life is not good enough. This comparison culture can lead to a low self-esteem, anxiety, and stress. So for example, you see a friend that traveled to a foreign country while you haven't had the opportunity to make yourself feel inadequate. Or seeing someone post a flawless photo that makes you feel unhappy with your own appearance. These comparisons are harmful to yourself because they are based on selective highlights and not the real reality of someone's life. So, the audience, can you raise your hand if you ever feel jealous or stressed after seeing some post in social media? So, you can see that there's many hands. This shows that how powerful this comparison can be. Even if we consciously know that they don't show the full picture. So the third major cause in social media addiction is that social media platforms are designed to provide instant gratification through like, comment, and shares. So it creates a cycle where users feel compelled to check their account frequently. So you see that the brain releases the dopamine when receives notification. So similar to the pleasure of eating or something sweet or winning a game, the same hormone is released. Over time, this creates an addictive pattern where social media addiction affects the person's attention, productivity, and mental health. Young people may find it difficult to focus on study or real life activity because their mind constantly craves update and notification. So you see that addiction can also lead to withdrawal symptoms like irritability or anxiety when access is limited, when there is no internet or something. Now that we have discussed the cause, let us move to the effects. The first effect is anxiety. As mentioned, constant exposure to cyberbullying, comparison, and addictive notification can increase someone's stress and nervousness. So anxiety may appear as overthinking, restlessness, or worry about online interaction. Young people often feel that they need to maintain the perfect online image, which add further pressure and anxiety to themselves. So imagine having to respond to every message instantly, post content that meet other expectations, and constantly monitor how people react to your post. This thing, it is exhausting and create a mental tension that can persist throughout the day. The second effect is depression. A study shows a link between excessive media social and depressive symptoms in teenagers. When young people are constantly exposed to idealized life in online platform and due to experiencing cyberbullying or feel socially isolated, they may develop a feeling of sadness and hopelessness, or even disinterest in activities that once they enjoyed. In a severe case, depression can affect the academic performance, the social interaction of a student, and even the overall qualities of life. For example, a study published in the Journal of Youth and Adolescence in 2021 found that teenagers who spend more than 3 hours daily on social media are significantly more likely to experience depressive symptoms compared to those who spend less than 1 hour. You can see that this shows a tangible impact on prolonged exposure to social media on mental health. Now moving on to the third effect, which is sleep problem. You see, social media usage, especially late at night, can disturb the sleep pattern. For example, scrolling before bed can stimulate the brain, delay the sleep, and reduce the quality of rest. This poor sleep can contribute to fatigue, irritability, difficulty in concentrating in school and other activity. According to a research by the National Sleep Foundation, a teenager who use electronic device 1 hour before bedtime report lower sleep quality and even higher level of stress. So you see that sleep is a crucial thing for mental and physical health, and social media can interfere with this natural process. So another effect that I would like to talk about is the reduce of attention span and the weakening of social skill. You see, excessive time online can reduce opportunity for face-to-face communication, like real-life interaction, and this can reduce the student empathy, body language reading skill, and conflict resolution. You see, these skills are harder to develop when online communication dominates. So young people who spend most of their time online may struggle with real-life conversation, teamwork, and problem solving, all of which are essential skill for personal and professional growth. So now, Hasif, would you agree that not all media social usage is harmful? That many people use this platform to learn new skills, stay in touch with friends, or even express creativity?
For me, I think absolutely, because social media is not inherently negative. Its effects depend on usage. Learning, social connection, and creativity are benefits, but excessive usage, cyberbullying, and unhealthy comparison creates the problem that you described.
Well, exactly. you see that awareness and balance are crucial. By understanding the cause and recognizing the effect, young people can take control of their social media habit and protect their mental health.
Well said from Nakib. Now, we will turn to Haris, who will share practical solutions and strategies to manage social media use effectively and maintain good mental health. Haris.
So first of all, thank you Nakib for explaining the causes and effects of social media on your mental health. So good day everyone. I am Haris and I will focus on practical strategies and real life examples that show how young people can manage their social media use responsibly while protecting their mental health. Today, we will look at individual strategies, peer influence, and even inspiring case studies of youth who successfully manage these challenges. So, first of all, understanding problems is the first step, but taking action is equally important. Social media is not inherently bad, but its misuse can create stress and anxiety. Now, let's explore how young people can balance their online and offline life effectively. So, first, let's talk about mindful usage. Mindfulness is about being present and intentional with our actions. When it comes to social media, this means asking yourself, why am I logging in? And am I here to learn, connect with friends, or just scroll without purpose? Mindful usage encourages you to avoid mindless scrolling, reduce exposure to harmful content, and focus on quality interactions. For instance, instead of spending an hour scrolling through random videos, a student could join a group related to learning new skills like photography, or even music, which is both engaging and educational. So, research shows that students who use social media mindfully report lower stress levels and higher satisfaction with online interaction. This small habit can make a big difference in daily mental health. And next, time management is essential. Using apps to monitor screen time can help track daily usage and prevent overexposure. For example, phones now have built-in features to show how much time is spent on each app. This creates awareness. Digital detoxes are another useful strategy. Even short breaks, like 1 hour per day or a full weekend offline, allow the brain to recharge. During this time, students can read, exercise, spend time with family, or pursue hobbies. This not only improve mental health, but also strengthens social connection in real life. So, let me know if you have ever tried a short break from social media. Look around. Many students find it refreshing. This proves that even small steps can have big impact. Another important strategy is peer support. Friends and classmates can influence social media habits positively. Encouraging each other to take breaks, share positive content, or avoid harmful comparisons can create a supportive online culture. Peer-led initiatives like online challenges that promote well-being, mindfulness, or creative learning can replace trends that increase stress or anxiety. For example, some students create weekly challenges to learn new skills or practice gratitude. instead of competing for likes or views. So peer influence can also reduce cyberbullying. When students support one another, harmful comments are less likely to spread. A community that promotes kindness online helps protect everyone's mental health. And let me share a few inspiring examples. One student, we can call her Sarah, used to spend 5 hours a day scrolling through social media, constantly comparing herself to others. She often felt anxious and stressed. After learning about mindful usage, she reduced her social media time to 2 hours per day. Follow account that motivated her learning and join an art club offline. Within a few months, her anxiety decreased, her sleep improved, and she felt happier and more productive. Another example is Adam, who experienced cyberbullying. Instead of withdrawing, he shared his experience with supportive friends and counselors. Together, they reported the bullying and created an awareness campaign in school about responsible online behavior. Adam not only improved his mental health, but also helped others understand the importance of empathy online. These examples show that solutions are possible, and young people can take proactive steps to protect their mental well-being while using social media. Here are practical daily habits for healthy social media usage. First, we can set time limits and avoid late night usage. Second, we can follow positive and educational accounts instead of accounts that trigger comparison. Third, we can take frequent short breaks to recharge mentally. And fourth, we keep a journal to reflect on emotions after social media usage. Fifth, discuss experiences with trusted friends, family, or teachers. And the last one is report harmful content and avoid engaging in negative online behavior. So we can see that even small actions when practiced consistently create a safer online environment and protect mental health. So we can say that balance is key. Now, let's do a quick interactive exercise. I want you to turn to your neighbor and share one social media habit you want to change and one positive habit you want to adopt. You can take your time. So, thank you. By sharing, we reinforce our commitment and inspire one another. Peer support, as we discussed it earlier, makes it easier to adopt positive habits. So far, we have covered the challenges, causes, and practical strategies for managing social media use responsibly. Now, I would like to hand it back to Hasif, who will summarize our discussion and provide the concluding remarks. Hasif will also share final advice for all of us on how to use social media positively while maintaining mental health. So, Hasif.
Thank you, Haris, for your strategies and wonderful examples. Now, instead of just summarizing, we'd like to open the floor for a short question and answer session. This is an opportunity for you to ask questions directly to us, the panelists, about social media and mental health. We'll also discuss our perspective before I give the final conclusion. Remember, no question is too small. We're here to share ideas and insights. So, I will start by asking my fellow panelists a question. Nakib, based on the causes of negative mental health effects that we discussed, what do you think is the most challenging aspect for youth today and why?
Well, thank you, Asif, for the question. It is a very good question, but in my opinion, I feel that the most challenging aspect is comparison culture. Social media constantly present a curated, idealized image of people life, and many youth feel pressured to match this unrealistic standard. We say unlike cyberbullying or screen addiction, which is more visible, comparison is subtle and eternal. It affects self-esteem, confidence, and even motivation. Many teens don't even realize how much it impacts them until stress or anxiety build up over time.
So that's a very good and compact point from you, Nakib. Thank you. So Haris, what do you think? How can we address comparison culture effectively?
So, first of all, I agree with Nakib. Comparison culture is subtle but powerful. One solution is promoting mindful usage. Teens should consciously follow accounts that inspire growth, creativity, and positivity instead of constantly comparing themselves to others. So, parents, teachers, and peers can support by encouraging offline activities that boost real life skills and self-esteem. For example, joining clubs, volunteering, or learning a hobby helps shift focus from online validation to personal growth. So that's all from me.
So let's hear from the audience. So I heard someone say that how can we handle cyberbullying without feeling afraid or overwhelmed? Nakib?
Well, that's a great question from the audience. You see that cyberbullying can be frightening, but it is important to seek support. For example, talk to a trusted friend, family member, or a counselor. Document any harmful message and report them to the platform.
So
Because every platform have their own support system. Remember, you don't have to face it alone. The support system are the keys.
So, if I can add to that, I can say that don't engage with the bully directly. Sometimes, responding escalates the situation. Instead, focus on self-care, limit exposure to harmful content, and remind yourself that online negativity often reflects the bully's issues, not your value.
Exactly. And one practical tips is to use platforms features like locking or muting accounts to protect your mental space. Prioritize your well-being first. And I heard also someone that said that how do we know if we're spending too much time on social media? Haris?
So, this is a very common issue, common concern. One way is to monitor your screen time using apps or phone settings, and you can ask yourself, do I feel stressed, anxious, or restless after scrolling? Am I neglecting studies, hobbies, or sleep? If the answer is yes, it is a signal to reduce usage.
Yeah. Apart from your point, it's also important to reflect on your emotion. Social media should be used as a tool, not a source of constant stress. So you should try to schedule the time more specific for online activity and take a short break. If you notice improvement in mood or focus, that's a positive sign that you are managing usage effectively.
That's a good point from you guys, but I also recommend keeping a simple journal. Note how you feel after using social media daily, and over time you'll notice patterns and know when adjustments are necessary. So another last question from the audience. I heard that someone said, what can we do to encourage our friends to use social media responsibly? Okay.
Now, to encourage our friend to use social media responsibly, that is a great question. So, my point of view, I believe peer influence is very much powerful. So, start by setting a good example. Limit your own usage and practice mindful posting. This can encourage friends to join challenge and activity that focus on learning, creativity, rather than like or review.
So, what I can say more is open conversations are the key. Talk to your friends about how online pressure affects mental health. And you should share strategies that work for you. And also, peer support can reduce cyberbullying, comparison culture, and even unhealthy habits.
Exactly. Positive influence spreads faster than negativity. By supporting one another, we create a healthier online environment collectively by time. Thank you for your participation in the first Q&A. We still have some time, so let's open a second Q&A session. This time, we want to focus on practical scenarios on personal experiences. All three of us, Nakib, Haris, and I, will respond. Feel free to ask anything about social media, mental health, or even balancing online life. Let's make this interactive. So, there's one audience asked, I feel pressured to post content like my friends. How can I deal with this without feeling left out?
Well, that is a very common challenge. So I suggest you start by reminding yourself that online content is often curated. It is not a fully reality. So focus on what makes you happy offline. And also whether it is a hobby, a sport, or even a study achievement, focus on that. Don't really focus on the online thing.
So, from me personally, I think that another practical approach is to limit comparisons. You need to unfollow accounts that trigger stress and follow positive, inspiring accounts instead. So, you can also post some contents for yourself, not for likes or validation. It is to boost your confidence and to share your daily life.
Yeah. And finally, discuss your feelings with trusted friends. You may find others feel the same pressure, and supporting each others reduces their burden. So we're moving on to the next question, which is, I spend a lot of time scrolling and find it hard to stop. How can I break this habit? Haris, you can start.
So, the answer from me is start small. We need to set daily limits using full settings, or you can even use an app to help you. And also, you can take some short breaks offline, even 10 or 15 minutes at first, and gradually increase this time.
Thank you, Haris. I also would like to add that you can also try replace social media time with productive activities or hobbies. For example, reading, exercising, or practice a skill. Over time, this positive habit will reduce your dependency on constant scrolling. So you be less attracted to scrolling the online apps.
So for me, I think that accountability also plays a major role. Ask a friends or family members to check in with you, or even join you in digital detoxes. Small but consistent steps gonna make a big difference. So let's moving on to the next question, which is, sometimes I get hurtful comments online. How do I protect my mental health? Naki?
That is sad to hear, but here is my suggestion. I suggest you do not respond to this hurtful comment immediately. Try taking a step back, prevent the escalation, and then document and report this harmful comment if really necessary. Report to the customer service of the app.
So, from me, I can tell that you need to focus on self-care and positive reinforcement. And also, you need to remind yourself that online negativity reflects the other person, not your work. Engage in offline activities to regain confidence is also another tips from me.
So for me, I think that you can also curate your online space by blocking or even muting the accounts that consistently being negative. By protecting your digital environment is essential for mental well-being. And we're also going to moving on to the next questions, which is, how can we support friends struggling with social media pressures? Aris?
So I suggest that you need to listen actively and validate their feelings, your friends' feelings. And sometimes our friends just need someone to understand them, to listen to their problems or their struggle with social media pressure.
Well, that is a good thing to do, Haris. But for me, the things that work for me, that I share strategy that works for myself with my friend, like digital detoxes or mindful posting. This will encourage them to take a break or focus on hobby and learning offline.
And for me, I think that you should be a role model. Be someone that will look up for you. Practice healthy social media habits yourself. Peer influence is very powerful, and small actions can inspire your friends to follow your pursuit. And last question from the audience, which is, I often stay up using my phone and feel tired during the day. Any tips?
Now, addiction to phone is a very common thing nowadays. So I suggest we try a no phone rule. A no phone rule is where 30 minutes or 60 minutes before bedtime, you put down your phone and just do other things that doesn't involve you looking at a screen. So you see the blue light and the notification, it can interfere with your sleep cycle. So I suggest you trying this. Maybe you can see yourself not feeling tired in the day after you try this. Try this for a week, I suggest you.
So I see here that the fact that you often stay up late using your phone, whether you use it for something that doesn't really benefit you, is the problem, you know. So I suggest that you need to replace pre-bedtimes scrolling with reading, journaling, or relaxing activities. Or the better thing is you can also use physical books to read so that you didn't interrupted to another app like TikTok or something like that. So gradually your body will adjust to a healthier sleep routine.
So also you can set an alarm or even a reminder to remind yourself to put your phone aside at night. See, by doing this, huge changes going to be in your life. Even if small changes to your bedtime routine can significantly improve your sleep quality. And before we officially conclude, let's reflect. Each of us will share one key insights from this second Q&A. Now keep your thoughts.
So, thank you, Asif. For me, I think that even small action like limiting social media use or unfollowing stressful account can greatly improve the mental health of someone using the online platform.
And also for me, I think that supporting friends and practicing mindful usage helps everyone around you. It is not just about individual habits, but also creating a positive community online. Yeah, and that's it.
And also from me, awareness, action, and balance are the key to success. Social media is a tool. It's a tool that you control it, not the other way around. So, before we end, let's do a quick reflection from each panelist. Nakib, in one sentence, what is the most important message you want the audience to remember?
So, for me, beware of the content that you consume. And remember, comparison can harm your mental health, and so focus on your growth, not someone else's highlight reels.
Haris, your one sentence takeaway?
So, from me, use social media mindfully, take breaks when needed, and support your peers. Remember, small steps can make a huge difference.
And also from me, social media is a tool and you control it. Remember, balance, awareness, and action are the keys to protecting your mental health. And for that, to conclude our forum, social media is here to stay, but it does not have to negatively impact our mental health. Understanding the causes of stress, practicing solutions like mindful usage, digital detoxes, peer support, and reflecting on our habits allow us to enjoy the positive aspects while reducing the risks. Remember, balance is everything. Online interaction should complement real life experiences, friendships, and also self-care. Start small. Limit the usage, follow inspiring accounts, take small breaks, and talks to friends or family about changes. Each small steps contributes to a healthier, happier, and more mindful online life. Finally, we'd like to thank all of you for your attention, participation, and questions. A special thanks to my fellow panelists, Naki and Haris, for sharing their insights. So guys, let's commit to using social media responsibly and supporting one another in maintaining mental health. That concludes our forum. Thank you for listening. Thank you guys.